Chocks and Chockettes in between Chocobirds here for another video review. It's the Cadbury Dairy Milk Advent Bar. Yes, look at that, yes. 1 chunk a day challenge. 25 individually numbered chunks. Yeah, so very interesting on this one. Basically, yeah, a sort of, well, an advent calendar, except in bar form. So quite an interesting concept, one that I don't think I've seen before. So very, yeah, a good one to have, really. I think, you know, odd that it's got, I don't know, well, I don't know if it's odd's the right word, but advent calendars tend to just have 24 doors, don't they, I think, rather than 25. This one's got 25, though, I guess. So, well, you know, extra chocolate, no bad thing. So you can see, essentially, from what I gather and what you imagine, I'd be surprised if it's not the case, is that you have 1 chunk per day, and they're all numbered, so you can see there as well. Hopefully in order, so you can actually get to them, as you'd expect. And some of them seem to be bigger than others. It seems to be like a Christmas tree design, which I guess is here as well, so you can see the chunks either side of the tree, the smaller chunks, and the big ones are the actual sort of middle tree section here, like the 3 and 6, for instance. So it's quite, yeah, quite an interesting concept, I think, and I quite like the idea of it, really. And you know, but there's nothing too exciting about it, though. I guess it's just dairy milk, a block of dairy milk. It's not like a Marvelous Creations bar or anything like that, which I think probably would lend itself better, really. Marvelous Creations being that sort of, you know, dairy milk bar essentially, but with bits of popping candy in it and jelly pieces and stuff like that, you know. And I feel like that would have been more exciting, really, to have done, you know, this concept with, rather than just straight dairy milk. Especially since the Marvelous Creations segments are kind of wacky shapes and sizes as well. I think like it just would have made more sense. I don't know quite why they've not done that, but nonetheless, it's still, you know, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. All right, yeah, so any other details on it? Let's have a look. Well, 25 individual numbered chunks, as we said, betreatwise.net. Give you the calorie stuff there. There's much to say on that side of it. And on the back, Advent Bar. Christmas Tree Tablet. Can you eat 1 chunk a day until Christmas? Do you accept the challenge? Well, it says it's 25 segments, as I say, so it's not until Christmas. It includes Christmas itself. 270 gram bar. And the calories there. Per 1 chunk, 9.55 grams. 51 calories, 2.9 grams of fat. 1.7 of which is saturates. And per 100 grams, 535 calories. 30 grams of fat. 18 of which are saturates. So yeah, chocolate products tend to be between 500 and 550 calories per 100 grams. This is just over the centre of that. At least from my experience reviewing stuff on this channel. So not necessarily accurate, but just from my experience. Right, there we go, the ingredients there. So quite not loads of ingredients, but they've got palm fat in there. Some E numbers, emulsifiers by the looks of it. The E number is just anything could be an E number basically. It's in food. It's just an ID basically, and the E stands for the European Union. So it's just they don't technically exist outside of the European Union. They've got another number basically. I think in Australia though they just have the number without the E. So yeah, a bit strange. Okay, the equivalent of 426 millilitres of fresh liquid milk in every 227 grams of milk chocolate. Milk size 20% minimum, actual 23%. I don't know why it says minimum and then actual. It seems a bit odd. Maybe someone will explain that to me one day. Cocoa size 20% minimum. Yeah, so it's 270 grams, 227. So there is 426 millilitres of fresh milk in this bar. More than that, in fact. Yeah, interesting. What does it say underneath? We've got anything else going on? Upside down. You've got suitable vegetarians, though presumably this product isn't recyclable. You've got the Queen approved symbol as well there. Might have to change that soon, I guess. By appointment of Her Majesty the Queen, the cocoa chocolate manufacturers Cadbury UK Limited, Bourneville. Your license from Cadbury UK Limited. Get in touch, not happy, stuff like that. Cadbury.co.uk. Alright, so it's pretty good, this one. So it's got a bit of flourishes going on though. You can see it's not really as big as makes out. Yeah, you know. There we go, a lot of chocolate pods do have it, and the bigger the bar, the less percentage of the bar the flourishes make up basically, but still, nonetheless, still significant. There we go. Alright, well, we need to give it an open, so let's move down, and let's see what it looks like on the inside. Let's give it an open. Right, okay, everyone, I'm going to give this Cadbury Dairy Milk Advent Bar an open. Yes, 25 individually numbered chunks, 1 chunk a day challenge. Yeah, so it should be, yeah, should be pretty interesting, this one, I think. So let's get into it, but as you've seen, there are a bit of flourishes there. So let's just give it a slight measure before I do. I think it's, is it just about 30 centimetres? So it's roughly about 20, just maybe over 29. Yeah, 29.5, 29.4 centimetres there with the flourishes. You can see as well it's got, it's open here. So it's got this sort of flow wrapper going on, which is interesting as well. Open it. So time recording, I've done about 970 reviews, believe it or not. So if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. It's alright to click on all my other reviews. There's also some related ones such as Christmas reviews, Christmas chocolate, things like that. Dairy milk reviews, Cadbury reviews, all sorts really, something for everyone. So if you like this video, as I say, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment or three, which makes me from me. If you subscribe and miss any of it, go check those other videos out. If you enjoy those too. See here, quite a that's a nice little pattern underneath. You can see that swirly pattern on it. It's quite nice, isn't it? It's lovely. It's got a lovely dairy milk smell actually. I love that smell. It's not you just don't get it anywhere else. Let's see what the measurement is roughly. It's not a flat bar. It's now 26 centimeters basically. So we lost pretty much yeah 3.5 centimeters there. So quite you know, it's now 26. So that's 3 centimeters into that. 16, 24. Yeah, so almost, but basically almost a tenth, isn't it? It's almost a tenth of the bar. So you know, not a massive amount, I guess, but still a lot. Let's have a look at what it looks like on the other side. See, it's got a wavy design. Look at that. Yes. Oh wow, it looks pretty good, that, doesn't it? So you can see there. Can I even fit it all in? Not sure I can. Just move the power away a bit. There you go. So yeah, there you go. Just about fit it in. So you can see it does have sections, or segments rather, numbered segments for most of it. I'm working in reverse here because I was on the camera. But you can see at the bottom there's actually no segments at all, so you know, so it's just like a little pot of where the tree goes and some presents. So quite interesting that, but it does mean it's not all segments. Yeah. So I'm not sure what to make of that really. I guess it's good in a way. You can eat some chocolate before you start. But so you can see the numbers here. So 1, 2 and 3. So every third number basically is one of the big segments in the middle. And there you go. So it is only go up to 24. On the back it does say 25 segments. So this is literally the final segment. So you do get a 25th for Christmas basically, if you want to say that on the day itself. So that's interesting, yeah. So as I say, is there's 24 segments, but there's for Christmas or for the Advent part of it, but there is actually 25 segments, which as I say, it did say. Did it say it there? It says 1 chunk a day until Christmas. But it does say there 25 individually numbered chunks. Well, that's not right either, because I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, basically, that isn't numbered, is it? So it's not actually right. There isn't actually 25 individually numbered chunks. If you want to be pedantic about it, which I'm going to be, there's only 24 individually numbered chunks. With the last one not actually being numbered. You can see as well the way it's filled in at the bottom of the way the swirls are. They are sort of actually sort of 4 segments, isn't it? It's weird. It's like they form the shell and then fill it in using sort of, I guess, 4 nozzles per row, I guess. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so there's 9 rows. It's interesting that you can see clearly there. Right, so let's give it a bit of a measuring, shall we? Got the old calipers. We measured the length before, so make sure it's on 0. Yeah, okay. Right, so it's a bit wavy, so we'll do it in between segments first. So roughly 3.3, 3.4 centimeters. Then it ripples out a bit, we'll do there. That's 3.5. And the height, 0.5 centimeter. And then between the segments, 0.3, almost 0.35. All right, yeah, there we go. Not too bad then. So I think, guess we'll see how it works. Really, does it snap very well? Let's have a go. Okay, yeah, seems to snap pretty good. There's 1, 2. Don't think you'd expect it not to. 3. Reasonably well. You can see some of it stuck there. So, you know, I imagine that's going to happen sometimes. You know, it's going to happen. It does mean you get a bit more for the next day. So they are pretty good. I'll tell you what we'll do as well. We'll just grab the old scales and just to see how different the weightage is for these segments. So it won't be a second. Okay, so I've got my scales here. So let's move things off to the side. Excuse any mess. The chocolate's dripped over there. Spilled on the edge of some here as well. Let's see, chocolate gets everywhere. All right, okay. So let's have a seat then, shall we? Turned on. Okay, so let's measure the first one. 8. And number 2. Okay, let's measure day 1. 8. No, day 2. 8. Alright, 8. 9. That must be, well, okay. 8 or 9, sort of, yeah. Okay, let's see what number day 3 is. 12, 13. So significantly bigger, I think you'd say there. But there you go. I think you expected that, didn't you? It looked a bit bigger. Between 8 and 9 for the outer chunks, and I don't know, around 13 or something. I'm 14 now. So my scales are not probably the best, but you get the gist of it. Yeah, all right. So there's a bit of variance slightly there. Okay, well, lift myself up, give it a taste. I think it's going to basically taste of dairy milk, but you know, you never know. Let's lift myself up, give it a taste. Okay then, everyone, getting this Cadbury Dairy Milk Advent Bar a taste, yeah. So 1 chunk a day challenge. It says 25 individually numbered chunks. It's not. It's 24 individually numbered chunks with a leftover one, which is the bottom of the tree. A bit strange how they said it's 25 individually numbered chunks when it's not. But you know, I can see what they were trying to say. But basically, you can see the bottom one isn't numbered. But it's been a bit pedantic there. But nonetheless, it's still true. All right, so we'll give it a bit of a taste. It's going to taste just of dairy milk, isn't it? I think, you know, we've got the number one. Let's give it a try. Let's see what it's like. So let's do it. Let's give it a taste. So a lovely velvety softness that dairy milk has. Really nice and substantial and thick. It's lovely chocolate, really. It's probably not one for connoisseurs and things like that. I mean, I'm sure it's filled with sugar and stuff like this. And I've heard some people, you know, try to claim it's not actual chocolate because it's not got enough of certain things in it. I'm not sure what the components are. It's got too many of some things or not enough of others or something like that. But nonetheless, I really like it. It's really nice. It's lovely, really. I think it's an interesting take and a good concept for an advent calendar bar. So I've took the top 3 segments off. But, you know, you can see, quite interesting to go through, really. But I think for me, as nice as it is, I think as a concept, it would be better if it was the Marvelous Creations sort of bar in this form, really, which has got poppy candy in, jelly pieces in, you know, just a bit more interesting, really. Whereas this one's just straight chocolate, and I think it's just not really as exciting. You know what I mean? When you open like an advent calendar door for advent calendar, well, chocolate advent calendars these days, they tend to have some, you know, they tend to have quite interesting chocolates inside generally, or something a bit different generally. You know, when I was younger, it wasn't the case, but nowadays, you know. And I sort of feel like, you know, you'd have a sort of Marvelous Creations bar anyway, so why not just use that, you know, for the mould? Why not, you know, it just seems a lot more logical and would make a lot more sense, be a lot more interesting and exciting. Obviously, would cost them more money, perhaps, you know, so that's probably why they don't. But nonetheless, it's a good idea. I like it. I think it's interesting. It's not the most exciting advent calendar you'd think. I mean, it's just something, you know, it's not really an advent calendar, is it? I mean, it's not quite the same. The concept's good, though. You know, it's one of those, isn't it? I feel like it's not quite as exciting as an advent calendar, but it's something you can do. I don't know why you would have this over an advent calendar. Maybe to reduce waste, something like that, so you don't have to throw the advent calendar away or what have you. Maybe, you know, which is fair enough. But again, I just feel like I just wish it was an actual, you know, Cadbury's Marvelous Creations. I think that just would have made it so much better. But as a chocolate bar itself, as a concept, it's still really good. I think Cadbury's Dairy Milk tends to be a 4 out of 5 for me. You know, I feel like this product is a really good idea, but I don't think it's got enough to really make it any better than that, if you know what I mean. I think it's still basically a Cadbury's Dairy Milk. I like the fact that it's got, you know, I'd say the chunks, and it would work pretty well as an advent calendar. Right, where it's got like a little extra one at the bottom, either before or after Advent starts, so you could start that way if you can control yourself to stop eating more than 1 chunk a day. You know, yeah, so it's not too bad. It looks very nice. The chunks aren't equal size, but it's a nice pattern to it. But again, that lends itself really to sort of what Marvelous Creations has. I mean, I think you'd still use the tree layout, the same, you know, the same mould, but Marvelous Creations has sort of random segment sizes, doesn't it? Or not quite random, but varied segment sizes. And I think it's just a product that just would lend itself better to this, to be a bit more interesting and exciting, really, you know. But again, who would buy this? I don't know. Would it be kids? Possibly not. I'm not sure, but probably not really, I guess. So it might be more adults, really. But, you know, again, I think it would be more exciting and interesting to have the Marvelous Creations one of this. Maybe they do a sort of Marvelous Creations variant, but I've not seen that. So I don't know. I think it's a good concept. It's interesting. You know, it's not quite as fun as it could have been. I think that's the gist of it. It's missing like a bit of an oomph, a bit of something special about it, really. The advent calendars, you know, chocolate ones tend to have these days, really. So, but it's still very nice chocolate. It's substantial. I can see you being, you know, it's a nice sort of alternative to an advent calendar. It's in, you know, as I say, just not quite as exciting as it could have been. But Dairy Milk chocolate's lovely. Presentation's nice enough. As I say, just missing that sort of X factor to make it a bit more interesting than it, you know, as interesting as it should be for an advent calendar type substitute, really. So, yeah, I think Dairy Milk, basically a 4 out of 5, as I think I mentioned earlier, unless I cut it out. But yeah, so I think for me this is pretty much the same, 4 out of 5. Yeah, just missing that X factor to make it more of an interesting advent calendar product, basically. But nonetheless, still nice. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that review. You know the drill by now, I'm sure. Check out YouTube member programs, go to support the channel, it really is. Link for that's in the description, get some extra content as well based on what tier you pick. And yeah, have a great day and have a great Advent as well and a great Christmas, I'm sure, although it's very early to say that, but guess it is a Christmas product. And I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, take care, bye for now. See ya.